this is everything that will come with the drone. But to first set it up at your location, you're only going to need a few things. So you can remove the battery charger, and you can also remove some of the part bags. Now, this radio here that isn't painted is the one that will control the drone. In this radio right here, which says camera on it in blue and also has a green antenna tip, this one will control the tilt of your camera. So if you want the camera to look down, you'll go all the way down, and if you want it to look up or forwards, you'll go like that. Now, with the drone itself and the video camera, there are a couple things you'll need to set up. So the battery should already be in the drone, and I don't see any point in using this cover. So for the times that I've been flying it, I've just not been using the cover, and that's fine. And it's a little bit easier to plug the battery in without the cover. Now, getting this out of the way, you have all of your video monitoring equipment in this one box. So if you open this up and slide it out, this is what you'll see. So this battery is what's going to power the video monitor and video receiver. Then you will also have the video receiver, and make sure that both of these are very tight and that the antenna does not wiggle. And then if you lift this up, you have a couple manuals and instructions just for troubleshooting if you have any problems, but I do not think that you're going to need those. And then you have the monitor itself right here. So you'll take this out, as well as this sun cover or sun shield. You will install the sun shield just like that, and it goes on with Velcro. Then you're gonna find these leads. So you'll go to the video receiver, which is right here, unravel all the cords, and then you'll find that it has a yellow and red. Just simply plug those into the yellow and red that are coming out of the video monitor. And then you'll take the battery, unravel all the cords, and I'll just place the battery over there. And here is one cable. This is the fairly long one that's coming out of the battery. That one will go directly into the video receiver. The other one from the battery, which is yellow, will go into the final lead that's coming off of the monitor. So the final setup will look something like this. You have a battery wire coming from the receiver going into the battery, as well as a wire coming from the battery into the monitor, and then pairing up your red and yellow wires with the receiver. Next step is getting your drone ready. So first, you're going to want to make sure that everything is secure on here. I'm going to start with the video transmission. Make sure that that's secure, and also make sure that the antenna cannot move back and forth. If it does move back and forth, it means that one of your linkages here is not fully tight, so you can just use a standard wrench or the wrench that we provided to tighten that up. You're also going to want to make sure that all of the cables are plugged in, and if one of them is not plugged in, you can go to another video that we have in this playlist, which shows how you route all of these cables that are under here. But again, I do not think that any of these cables will come out. So just make sure that this cable is securely in the GoPro, and that that cable runs directly to the video transmitter, and just everything looks to be normal. With all of that being normal, you'll now take the drone's radio, the one that's not painted, and simply flip it on, let that go down, and have it in the 0 position, because that's the flight mode I think that you guys will be flying the most. Next, with the drone in the off position, you will simply plug in the battery. Now, what you will do is flip on the green remote, and you hear that flip on. And what that is doing is that's linking up with the camera. So you can now see in the front here that the camera is pointed down because I have this down. And now I'm just going to move it up a little, and you can see that the camera is moving. Alright, so now that you know that the camera is synced up, and you check to make sure that the camera is stabilizing, you can go back under and turn on the drone and place it on a level surface. And remember, you need to have the drone's radio on first. I'm just going to reposition that a little so that you can see the LED there. But you're going to want to leave this drone on a level surface and just let that LED flash until it's flashing solid green. What the solid flashing color means is that it's found all of its satellites or its GPS signal. So if you have two greens and then another color, I think it's like orange or red, that means that the GPS signal has not been found. Now this is the simplest mode, and I have another video explaining all of the different modes in this playlist. Now if you want to switch to a different mode, you just again switch that down, and now you can see that we're in the pink mode. If you remembered earlier when you first got the drone, I said never to go into this mode, and I will still say that because it's just a little bit more difficult to fly. So yeah, once you have the solid flashing color, you know that your drone is ready for flight. So the next step is going to be to go ahead and turn on the GoPro, which I've already done here. You can see it's on. And if you're going to be recording a video, now would be the time to hit the record button. Remember that you will have to put in your micro SD card if you want to record the video. With that all turned on, what we can do is go ahead and flip on the power button on the display. We'll move this out of the way a little and show you that everything should sync up. There you see that we have the video and it's synced up just that easily. Now, with everything powered on, you have to make sure that one last important thing is synced up. Make sure that the number on this is reading out 33. And make sure that the number reading out on this is 33. Now, if say you accidentally got switched to 34, the first number is changed by frequency. So you can cycle through until you get the 3, and then the second number is changed by channel. And now we're back to 33, and we have the video signal. The exact same thing is done on the drone, where here you can see the channel. We'll switch that channel, and the frequency will switch the first number. Alright, so now you can put this monitor anywhere that you want, but there's one last thing that you need to set up, and that is you need to get this up into the air because it does not do well near the ground. So it's recommended that you use this about 3 feet up away from any objects in clear space. For this demonstration, I'm just going to have my friend hold it up, but you can place it on a ladder, you can tape it to a pole and have it sticking up. There are many things you can do to get this out of the way of anything that may interfere with it. So here's an example of how we set it up. We didn't change any of the wiring, we just have this display resting on the ladder, and then if you follow up, we just simply taped this with electrical tape right onto the top of the ladder. So you can see that there's absolutely no interference now with anything below the antenna, and it's a clear shot if the antenna is trying to get to a drone, which you can see. But then you also have a nice viewing station at eye level. So let's get flying. So now we have the drone in the air, and you can see that the video recording is absolutely perfect. Now my friend is going to control the tilt of the camera so that you can just see how that will work.
turn it on. Right there.